Hey everyone, welcome back with another session of social studies. I hope you all are doing well. So today we'll continue the same chapter, that is beginning of freedom struggle. Now children, as we have discussed about the partition of Bengal, that during this period, like the Indian National Congress gradually became a strong national organization. And when they became a strong national organization, the British were alarmed by its growth and wanted to suppress it. Now, they adopted the policy of divide and rule and aimed at dividing the Hindus and Muslims. Now, if we see, in those days, Bengal was the center of nationalist activities. And in order to weaken the nationalism, the British decided to divide Bengal into East Bengal and West Bengal. So, West Bengal had a Hindu majority, while East Bengal was dominated by the Muslim. So, in 1905, Lord Curzon announced the partition of Bengal into East Bengal for the Muslims and West Bengal for the Hindus. Now, all these things, now Indians realized that the partition was aimed at dividing the people in the name of religion. So, they opposed this decision. They all came out with one voice and Bande Mataram as their national cry. Now, when all these things happened, the next thing that started, that was the Swadeshi movement. Now, the Indians protested against the British in a collective way. So, if you see tell the Indians, basically like these were the groups of the extremist like leaders. They protested against the British in the collective way. Now, all of them, they came out with the idea of boycotting all the British goods in the market. And they named it as Swadeshi movement. Now, it meant that Indians should use only those goods which are made in India. And because of all this, British clothes and goods were burned in heaps. Now, even students and women all joined the processions against the British. And because of all these, trade and commerce declined in Bengal. And finally, the British called off the partition of Bengal in the year 1911. And this was the result of a collective effort of the people. Now, during the Swadeshi movement, Khadi and Charkha, these became the symbols of nationalism. Now, after this Swadeshi movement, what happened? Now, after all these incidents, Indian soldiers sided with the British during the First World War. But when the war ended, they did not get any kind of reward. Moreover, the British imposed more taxes on them. And because of all these, all the leaders and all the Indians, they were furious. Okay, now, after all these incidents, after the death of Lokmanya Tilak in the year 1920, the reign of the national movement was passed on to Mahatma Gandhi. And if you see the period from 1920 to 1947, it's known as the Gandhian era. And Mahatma Gandhi showed a new path to the freedom struggle through truth, non-violence and satyagraha. Okay, now because of all these incidents that took place, there were lots of revolutionaries. Now, who are called revolutionaries? Now, the people who believed that violence is required to fight with violence were called revolutionaries. Maar ka badle maar. Alright, these were their only motto. Now, if you see, they were called the revolutionaries. Now, if you see, for examples, Khudiram Bose, Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, Sukhdev, Jatin Das, all of them were revolutionaries. And children, all these revolutionaries, all were sentenced to death by the British. And even Khudiram Bose, he was sentenced to death in the year 18. So at his age 18, so he died. So it's really breathtaking, isn't it? So that's all we have in this session. I hope you have liked it. So until the next time with some other topics, bye bye.